So day 3 of ProgeCAD. So I spent basically all day working on setting up this project, working with the clients, kind of nailing down the scope of work. And I ran into two problems, both of which caused me to panic for a little bit. I was like, what have I done? Oh my goodness, this thing's a disaster. Maybe I should have gone with AutoCAD. Oh no, what have I done? It was no big deal. So one was this on the blocks. I've made hundreds of blocks. And I kept trying to click on this visibility state thing. And if you do that in a frantic state like this, it doesn't work. But if you just hover over it for about a tenth of a second or less, like what is that, 0.2 seconds, it works just fine. That was all I needed to do. I went through so many different, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? So that was horrific crisis number one. The other one is generally all of my text. I start with the parentheses of E or N representing existing or new. So if I start here, delete this, and I go, okay, I've got a new stud. And I'm like, what the heck is this? I'm just going to write some words. New stud at 16 inches on center. I can't type with this microphone in the way. Like what is I don't want all this. What is going on? I wanted to get rid of this dead space and this thing, and I kept mucking with all this stuff. Well, it turns out all you need to do is go to there. And then if you type a new one, let's see. Type a new one, and my microphone's in the way. New stud. It's just fine. So that was the other thing. I don't know why I spent so long on it. It's kind of ridiculous. But it just seems so screwy. So basically all my text looks something like this. So the point is that you're going to run into some hiccups. And there's going to be a button somewhere or a setting somewhere that resolves it. Or at least that's what it was for me. So after a full, I know it doesn't look like much maybe on this particular project, but I did do quite a bit on some of the site plans and some of the other notes. And by and large, 95% of the time, maybe 98% of the time, the keyboard shortcuts were identical. The buttons, yeah, they were in a slightly different place, but easy enough to find them. So day 3 has been a great success, and it seems pretty much official at this point that I'm not going back to AutoCAD. I just don't see that happening at this point. I've been able to do everything I need to do. It's identical, so pretty psyched. I need to fix one suggestion from day 2, and that has to do with printing. So I sent my job out to print. I was pretty excited, thought everything was great, and it looked like this. So I'm not sure if that's Vietnamese, Thai, and that's a bunch of useless dots, but it was a bunch of garbage. Look at my logo. So turns out I had a setting wrong. So my goal was, and always is to generate my plans so that they're as small as they can be. So ideally, they're pretty small. So if you go to publish, so under the publish options, I had unchecked embed fonts. What you need to do is leave that checked and check optimized. And that ended up generating the same size PDFs as completely unchecked, but they were legible. So just needed to correct that. So do that if you're, and I believe this comes unchecked as default. So publish options, check that one, and you should be good to go.